A night to remember the role played by different South Africans, both in the country and abroad. Among those, Sophia Williams-De Bruyn, who led the Women's March against the apartheid pass laws. She is the only surviving person who was part of the leadership that handed over a memorandum to the then Prime Minister, Sandton. However, she laments the current situation in South Africa.
My commitment and service to the South African women and democracy earned me numerous accolades. However, as we celebrate our past, we must continuously address present challenges, economic struggles, political complexities, and persistently high unemployment and poverty rates demand our attention. Therefore, have we done enough? The country which upon my return got me emotional as I saw children of various race groups walking hand in hand, attending school with no apparent discrimination. But today, it seems we have not grown beyond the young children playing and mixing freely at multiracial schools. It seems South Africa has developed stagnation. Economic discrepancies are seemingly larger than before, or perhaps just more visible, with millions more citizens in the country.
Former South African President Thabo Mbeki shared similar views and quoted a report from an international institution that looked at the current economic situation in South Africa.
It says it is painfully clear that South Africa is performing poorly, exacerbating problems such as inequality and exclusion. The economy's ability to create jobs is slowing, worsening South Africa's extreme levels of unemployment and inequality. South Africans are deeply disappointed with social progress and dislike the direction where the country seems to be heading. Despite its enviable productive capabilities, the national economy is losing international competitiveness. As the economy staggers, South Africa faces deteriorating social indicators and declining levels of public satisfaction with the status quo. After 15 years, attempts to stimulate the economy through fiscal policy and to address exclusion through social grants have failed to achieve their goals. Instead, they have sacrificed the country's investment grade, increasing the cost of capital to the whole country, with little social progress to show for it. The underlying capabilities to achieve sustained growth by leveraging the full capability of its people, companies, assets, and know-how remain underutilized. 3 decades after the end of apartheid, the economy is defined by stagnation and exclusion, and current strategies are not achieving inclusion and empowerment in practice.
Mbeki says something must be done.
Despite all of these things that are happening, we still have this capacity among the people, among our people as a country, to produce the kind of good work and the good deeds and the good things that the South Africans do, which inspire all of us, so that without ignoring the reality described by this report, nevertheless, they give us this hope that despite the problems, we are capable of solving our problems and capable of producing the good which is represented by our awardees.
The Vice Chancellor of the University of Namibia weighed in on what needs to change on the continent.
No country has ever industrialized without sufficient access to power. And here, let me just pause and say, yes, I also believe in investments in alternative energy, renewable energy resources. But I do not know any country that has industrialized purely on alternative energy resources. I don't think Africa should be standing only on renewables. We need to look at other forms of diversification of energy, and especially the raw materials that we have on nuclear. Uranium, it's of course expensive, it could be dangerous, but there are sufficient knowledge skills to be able to manage this. And it's carbon free. There are those who are saying Africa should not invest in nuclear energy because of what happened in Fukushima and others. But we must remember, Fukushima was not a man-made event. It was natural. It was as a result of an earthquake. And by the way, 75 new nuclear reactors have been built since Fukushima. So why shouldn't Africa do it?
It was a night to honor those who made a contribution in their communities, but also a night to reflect on the challenges facing Africa. Sophie Williams-De Bruyn, SABC News, Johannesburg.